Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. And since we did Slifer yesterday, today's time for Obelisk. Before I get into the Obelisk, I'd like to congratulate one of our viewers, Borislav, and I'm going to go with that's Liu, maybe? Terrible at pronunciations. I did purposefully make this mistake. I did want to see if anybody would catch it. Basically, one of my teammates said, "Do you think anybody really pays attention to how many cards you put in there?" And I was like, well, maybe. So I did make a profile with only 38 cards for the original Obelisk, the $30 budget. Literally, I just left out a third copy of both Obelisk and Drowning Mirror Force. I did leave that in the comments section, and it didn't take but maybe 2 or 3 hours of the video being up to do that. So I will not do that. I won't do that on purpose again. That's a one and done. Obviously, you guys are watching. And so Borislav already got in contact with me. The next question is just, hey, bud, do you want me to sign the set of the God cards that I'm going to send you? I found a set of secret rares sitting around. And I feel like they'd be much better in your collection, my friend. So if you want those signed, you let me know via email, of course. Everybody else, let's get into today's deck profile. Now, this is very similar to the Slifer build, and I think moving forward from these structure decks, almost every God card deck is going to be very similar, just because Ancient Chant plus adding one Winged Dragon of Raw adds a certain layer of consistency to any non-Raw deck, and the fact that just Soul Crossing is always going to be a thing now. So, without anything further, let's get into it. I am using 3 copies Gizmek Makami, the Ferocious Fanged Fortress. This guy really makes your God cards searchable, adding to hand. Again, I will be utilizing 3 copies of my Guardian Slime. I've got my 3 copies of Obelisk. I'm going to go ahead and reuse my 3 Raw's Disciples, my 3 Reactor Slimes, 3 copy Tellus, the Little Angel, and of course that singular Winged Dragon of Raw. Moving over to the spells, it's going to be standard with the double Ancient Chant, the triple card Advance. Obviously, since we're running Obelisk instead of Slifer this time, we got to have the Fist of Fate times 3. Still using a Duster, still using a Reborn. This time I'm using Pot of Extravagance. And really, the point here is the extra deck isn't as necessary. Yes, I've still maximized certain cards in order to play Tellus properly. But really, we just need to make sure that since Obelisk isn't as control as Slifer can be with Slifer's Second Mouth Strike, or even his skill spell card, the Thunder Force Strike, you got to understand Obelisk needs to go a little harder, a little faster. Right now, technically, I feel like Slifer's actually the better of the 3 Ancient Egyptian God cards. So we're using Extravagance, because again, we're not going to try to rely on anything in the extra deck outside of maybe a Tellus play. We are going to be using the 3 Soul Crossings, again, unless this card gets limited in some way, shape, or form. Any God card deck is going to be running 3 copies of this. Again, 3 of the True Name, because I'm still using the card Advance. And I'm still running 2 Metal Reflect Slimes. Going over to the extra deck real quick, my friends. Again, just play everything at 3s. So, Egyptian God Slime, Al Mirage, IP Masquerena, and Unicorn. So, again, just play everything at 3s. Find a 5th card. This way you can get it up to 15. This way you make sure that you maximize your ability to use the Pots of Extravagance. And just go hard and play to win. But right now this doesn't really matter because, again, that last choice is up to you. Again, so not everybody is going to be able to afford Ancient Chants. So again, we may see double summons in those spots. Some people may opt in for playing Mound of the Bound Creator, at which point Barricade Board Blocker becomes a great option here. It's just really player preference at that point. But real quick, before I dismiss everybody who is just here for the list itself, I do want to take a second to thank you guys for showing up and watching. If this has helped you in some way, shape, or form, please consider subscribing to the channel and letting your friends know. And the most important thing to me is that you have yourself a great day. That's the best. Just do that. But then, class dismissed. And then for everybody else, let's go over some of the card effects. And again, if you watch the Slifer one, you could probably skip most of this because it's pretty much a recap. And it'll probably be a recap again here in a day or two once I finalize how I want the Winged Dragon of Ra to look. But it'll probably look very similar as well. So the first thing we're using is we're going to be using those 3 copies Gizmek Makami. While you have 6 or more of your own cards banished, which is again another reason why we want to see Pots of Extravagance maximized out. You can normal summon this without a tribute, which is again going to be awesome. Use each of the following effects once per turn. If this is normal or special summoned, discard 1 monster to add a monster whose attack equals its own defense from the deck to the hand. This will allow us to immediately grab Obelisk because of mirrored stats. And again, I'm not too sure, guys. Let me know. Would this work for... I know Slifer's got them question marks. Raw got them question marks. Or is it because it's not actually a written value? Could I pull for those two, or do I just pull for Obelisk? I know the way I was playing, I was only pulling for Obelisk. Be that as it may. Last effect, if this card is in the monster zone is destroyed, you can shuffle 6 of your banished cards back into the deck. And again, this is another reason why we're using Extravagance. Again, we can get the draw, and then if this is on the field and just happens to get destroyed, well, then I get to put all 6 of those cards back into my extra deck. So it's actually looking more like you can get 3 full draws off of your Extravagance cards. And this also allows you to maybe reset for having blocked yourself. Maybe you wanted to use Almirage to play Tellus better. And this will allow you to get yourself back out of that situation. So that's pretty cool. Guardian Slime, great defensive option again. 10 stars, 0 attack, Aqua. Between that and our Metal Reflect Slime, these are how we want to play our Egyptian God Slime. If we take battle or effect damage, we can special summon this from our hand. So obviously we want to go defense mode. During damage calculation, if it battles an opponent's monster as a quick effect, make it gain defense equal to the other monster's attack during the damage step only, or damage calculation only. If this card is sent from the hand or the field to the graveyard, like in the instance of playing the Egyptian God Slime, you can add 1 spell or trap card from your deck to your hand that specifically lists Winged Dragon of Ra in its text, using each of these effects only once per turn. And that card you're always going to go after is going to be Ancient Chant. So again, very cool card. Obelisk, again, a little bit better in the past. Slifer got a little leg room on him right now. Still requires 3 tributes to normal summon, cannot be normal set. Normal summon cannot be negated. And when normal summoned cards and effects cannot be activated. Additionally, neither player can target this card with card effects. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card was special summoned, send it to the discard pile. And then the last effect is something we will never use. You can tribute 2 monsters, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This card cannot declare an attack the turn this effect is activated. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We basically want to use him because he's just gargantuan with these stats, and he can't be targeted. So again, that's traditionally why Obelisk was the best god. He just also happens to be my favorite. Moving on, we do have the Raw Disciples. When you summon one of these, you can special summon up to 2 more from either the hand and or the deck. Cannot be tributed except for the tribute summon of insert the name of the 3 ancient Egyptian god cards. Final effect, you cannot special summon monsters except by the effect of Ra's Disciple, effectively shutting down other special summoning effects like Tellus or playing cards from our own extra deck. Another great starter, again, like we did with Slifer, we have the Reactor Slime again. During the main phase, you can activate this effect, special summon 2 slime tokens with 500 attack and defense. Also, you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except for Divine Beast monsters. During the battle phase, as a quick effect, you can tribute this card to set 1 Metal Reflect Slime from the hand, the deck, or the graveyard, and it can be activated this turn. You may only use each effect of the Reactor Slime once per turn. So, on his own, he can go ahead and get us the Metal Reflect, which can get us the Egyptian God Slime, which is fine. Or if we have a method of double summoning, like we do with Ancient Chant, we can actually use the Reactor Slime for the entire tribute. So that's amazing. Another great card, especially when you have Al Mirage to target it immediately, is going to be Duelist the Little Angel. If it is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, and since it doesn't say by battle, a card effect, or anything, tributing it is fine, and linking with it is better. We get to special summon a Tellus Wing token, which is a 1-star 0 AD monster token. While we control a Wing token, we can also banish this from our graveyard and 1 spell card from our hand. Again, we maximized a lot of spell cards in this deck, so you're always going to have that effect. In order to special summon another 2 Tellus Wing tokens. You can only use this effect, or each effect of this, once per turn. And honestly, this right here is, again, this plus a spell card equals 3 tributes. So, fantastic. The Winged Dragon of Ra cannot be special summoned, requires 3 tributes to normal summon, cannot be normal set. Normal summon cannot be negated. When normal summoned, other cards cannot be activated. When it is normal summoned, you get the option immediately to pay life, since you only have 100 left, giving the value of what you paid point for point transferred to him. Or you can pay 1,000 life points, target a monster on the field, and destroy said target. One of the cards that's going to let you get around this and is necessary for you to have the Winged Dragon in here is the Ancient Chant. This states, add Winged Dragon of Ra from either the deck or the graveyard to your hand. And if you do, you can tribute summon 1 monster during your main phase this turn, in addition to your normal summoner set. So essentially, it's double summon that maintains hand presence. Yes, we could have just went with double summon here because, again, we're not trying to keep the hand up the way that we were with Slifer. I just personally like the whole interaction between the slimes and the gods. Additionally, you can banish this from your graveyard. If you tribute summon the Winged Dragon of Ra this turn, its original attack and defense become the combined original attack and defense of the monsters tributed for its summon. You can only activate 1 of these per turn. And again, this means that you don't have to pay your life points, or you could pay the life points and get the initial stats from the tributes, as well as getting the stats from the life transfer. Could be the Ultra Mega Chicken of Doom. Again, we're going to be running Card Advance to let you stack the top 5 cards of your deck in any order you like. Additionally, you can tribute summon them in 1 more time in addition to the normal summoner set this turn. Again, allowing you to extend your summon. We are using the Fist of Fate. It is spell speed 4, so the activation and effect cannot be negated. If you control a monster whose original name is Obelisk the Tormentor, negate the effect of an effect monster the opponent controls. If you negated the effect, pop the monster card. And if you do that for the remainder of the turn, the effects of that monster are negated, as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of monsters with the same original name. Long way of saying you have no effect. Because you have no effect, you're gone. Because you're gone, you have no effect in the graveyard, and anybody else that has your name also loses their effect this turn. So again, I don't see this happening to be super often. This is more or less 1 piece of spot removal. The real essence of what this effect would harm would be decks like Harpy Ladies, something that insinuates where they all share a name or something. And if you activate this during your own main phase, because again, remember, this is quick play, you can destroy all spell traps your opponent controls. You can only activate 1 of these per turn, which is fine. Again, not as strong as Thunder Force Strike for Slifer. Again, we're using Harpy's Feather Duster, and again, we pretty much have 4 Feather Dusters, so that's kind of crazy. We do use Monster Reborn for the extension. Extravagance at the start of the main phase 1. Banish 3 or 6 face-down random cards from the extra deck. Draw 1 for every 3 banished for the remainder of the turn after this resolves. You may not draw cards by card effects. That is fine. We're basically setting up for the Gizmek Makami. And additionally trying to dig into more cards. We do run the triple Soul Crossing. And again, you're not playing God cards if you're not playing this. During the main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon 1 Divine Beast monster. When you do, you can tribute a monster or monsters that your opponent controls, even though you do not control them. But if you tribute someone this way, apply this effect. Until the end of the next turn, until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, you can only activate one card or effect per turn, not counting the effects of your divine beasts. You can only activate one of these per turn. And again, I think this goes way better with Slifer, but again, it's a free Obelisk, so why not? Again, we're talking about the true name. We want to use this with the card advance. Again, because once we've stacked our deck, we can actually declare what the top card is going to be. So declare card name, excavate the top card. If it is, add it to your hand. Then you can add to your hand or special summon a divine monster from your deck. Otherwise, send it to the graveyard. You can only activate the true name once per turn. Or sorry, one of them per turn. So again, this is going to allow us to set up our hand quite nicely. And again, the 2 Metal Reflect Slimes, we're just spawning it in as a effect monster and as a trap card. Level 10 0 by 3000. Again, it just gets us into our God Slime. Back into the extra deck. Again, Almirage, maximize it. Use this to not only protect your card, not as much with Obelisk. Honestly, this still lets you generate your tokens, but Obelisk couldn't be targeted anyway, so this one isn't going to work. And also, it does say that, then target a monster you control. So even I'm not allowed to target Obelisk with this. So this one's sort of a redundancy. We're really just doing it to get off a different play, which is fine. Unicorn and Masquerade, they work pretty well together. You could always throw in, like, maybe Nightmare. Let's go Cerberus, maybe, because you've already got, like, 4 Feather Dusters, rather than playing the Phoenix. And those could be your options for that. And then, of course, the Egyptian God Slime. Just so you guys don't think that I don't have them. Yeah, maximize that guy out. And again, we're going to be playing it off of either the Guardian Slime or the Metal Reflect Slime. So we're using the second effect. We're going to tribute that to play it. This card can be treated as 1 or 3 tributes for the tribute summon of a monster. Cannot be destroyed by battle. And additionally, your opponent can target 4 attacks or with card effects any monster that you control except Egyptian God Slime. So it's worth developing even once you have your God card out, because again, this does take the heat off of it, even if it is just a battle. So again, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I really do hope that this helps out. I am going to try to tackle the Winged Dragon of Raw real quick. I do expect this to again be played off of more of a like a slime build. And to my friend, I really hope that you get back to me soon. I can't wait to find out if you want these signed or not. And if you do, I will get those in the post for you as quickly as possible. Everybody else, just remember, have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.